I'm Margaret Ann Windsor.
And I'm putting this on because where I'm at is a stay-at inn here in Trouttville, and it's part of the Patels and Shaws that have become quite wealthy since I came to Roanoke in '86. And they've partnered with the feds, and it goes straight up to U.S. Senator Bob Goodlatte, and he's head of the over the intelligence. No, to the judicial. And right now I feel so full of chemicals till I can't live. I showed you, I just took the microwave. And the people here came right over 15 minutes after I'd called them, and they replaced it with another microwave over here. They didn't take this one, it's attached to the little fridge. But you can see part of what it melted and all that. So that's something that I can put on TV. Well, I can go down just next to me, and they've actually got the plastering, the paste, they've got it just lined up, boxed, to where you can see it all down here. They've already gone in and torn out insulation and walls down and whatever they've used, chemicals. They've used them around back of me. They've used them, there's a couple of other buildings over here, they're lined up there. So they mean for me to go, even if it's in a body bag. I'm allergic to chemicals, and my immune system attacks itself. And when I'm force-fed chemicals, and the only thing you can do is get away from it. There's no cure. So my whereabouts has been controlled. When I had a place, or when I was up on the Appalachian Trail and up on the mountain, freezing and starving, they controlled it because the Appalachian Trail volunteers would come up there, and rather than help me in any of this, the people partnered against me. They would come up there and soak my bedding, my sleeping bags. They would soak with chemicals. They'd spray them. They would put Clorox right under. If I tried to sleep in the shelter, they'd put it right under, pour a bottle right under me, underneath the shelter. I'd wake up to that. They did everything in the book, poison, insecticide, you name it. But what I wanted here is, I was kidnapped and brought here from Buckingham Palace in '41, and I want to get to the FBI are the ones who investigates the FBI. First of all, the FBI were the ones back when I wrote a medical malpractice book about mind control, '76 to April Fool Day of '80, when they put antifreeze in me as an April Fool joke, and I should have died. And I can't go into all this trying to give background. It's on other videos. But Larry Flint was shot, let me say that, and I was doing a medical malpractice book, and it was about mind control. I was living in Marietta. He was shot in Lawrenceville, Georgia. The person that shot him was programmed, and this is what I was talking about, the agencies that are into programming, and nowadays it's so much easier than it was in '76 when I wrote about it. They modify behavior. They program without your knowledge to go out, and they can program someone to shoot. Just like this is a psychiatrist from next door at Virginia Tech in Blacksburg. He's a psychiatrist, and he's a Fort Hood shooter. He's going to be put to death or life in prison. He was born here in Roanoke. And after a state trooper, Virginia state trooper, and I've given this background, so all I'm going to say is his wife, Carl Barton, brought me down to Affordable Corporate Suites, and that's off Starkey Road in Roanoke. And when she left me there, she said she paid the security deposit, and for 17 months I lived with toxic fumes, so sick, and it tears my liver, destroys my kidneys, all your organs, and your veins. But she took me there the 14th of August of '09, and this is what happened a few weeks later, a week and a half later. Retired state trooper Childs, I think his name is, I don't see it, his wife's name is Laura, so that fits in it. They've taken things around me, not just family members, but dates and times, and it fits into patterns. And you kind of need a database to see it all. But anyway, Childs is a takeoff on Childers. But anyway, his daughter was shot, Heidi, and killed. Metzler is a friend that was above. They were in the National Forest. The thing there is, I've had to live in the National Forest, and the rangers, which is law enforcement, come up there and lock me up, and it's shocking. You have to show it and embarrass the whole country. They've had a good time at it. That's all I can say. And by the way, they were shot and killed, and nobody's been held accountable. Okay, I want to go back to when I was kidnapped. I was brought to Moulton, Alabama, and this is the family where I was put. I was brought over in 41, born in 39, and that's a glossed over picture. I mean, you never saw them dressed like that again. There were no cars. They had to have brought in a photographer from Decatur or Huntsville. And this is a woman that killed her twins. They gave me the name of a twin, Peggy Ann Dempsey. I married a Childers. I'm Victoria II, heir to the British Crown. My father, Edward VIII, was illegally taken out. He was married to my mom, Claudia Ruth O'Keefe, and this is my Aunt Georgia. Now then, he never married Wallace Simpson, a double did. This is illegal Elizabeth, and this is her dad who helped take down my father. He's with Roosevelt. The Kennedys and the Rockefellers and Rothschilds, your Illuminati, helped do it. So this is just a picture that I just recently got growing up here in Moulton. And now I wanted to focus on this. I've been telling all this because the FBI are the ones I had a letter from when I was doing the book. I thought this was because of the medical malpractice book and talking about mind control and Larry McDonald, U.S. Congressman doctor, whose plane, he went down in a plane crash later. But it wasn't. It was because of my kidnapping and who I am. And I found that out in late 83 after I'd been out at Flint's. So you've got people that are being hauled off to prison, and they're under mind control, and they're victims. Now, I want to get to this. The Patels and where I'm at now, I showed you the microwave. Johnny on the spot come over with another microwave. But you can go, I'm deathly ill around chemicals. I go out, and they've moved on up, and I'm so sick right now. First of all, they keep the air conditioning toxic, and I can't use the heat. Right now it's cold up here. I walk out, and they've got it lined up. They've got the glues and the pastes and the walling and all that just lined up on all of them here. So that means for me to get the hell out, even if it's in a body bag. And I wanted to say this about, I've tried to tell everybody if it'll go on now, there's a policeman here, an investigator, work for DEA. And this is what the FBI have done that I've told you. They've gone out and they've gotten things on law enforcement, state, local, and got their help, or they'll put them under investigation and they will find something and charge them. Now then, the law enforcement helps them, and they get where other people have committed crimes or their children. And in return for these people, whether it's head of corporate suites or head of this place, Shaw and Patel's, and so for doing all this to me, in essence, assaulting me and killing me with chemicals, I have no civil rights. They dropped the charges. And for an example, this has gone on and on. The DEA, he worked for DEA, he's Salem policeman. He's been charged, and he's in federal court down here, for sexual favors. He would drop charges for 3 women specifically if they would perform oral sex. So what was his words? You do a favor for me and I'll do one for you. So they're using law enforcement to break the law. So where do you go? In other words, I'm law enforcement. I've got you committing a crime, or I can say you did. I'll drop it. or drop the charges against your child if